High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Leber.
And I'm Drew Collins. It was game on tonight for most of our state line football teams. Time to put all those months of hard work to use on the field.
And there is nothing like opening night, and tonight we got highlights from Pecatonica, Forest, and Bago, Lutheran, Rochelle, DeKalb, and throughout the NIC 10. And our first spotlight feature story this season on Guilford's Messiah Tilson.
Let's kick things off in Belvidere with NIC 10 action between two teams that could be the top contenders for the conference championship. Guilford and Belvidere North.
Now, last week, you, I, and Tim, we all picked Belvidere North to win the conference. We all had Guilford right up there also. So this was a big one. It's also the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning Game of the Week. Great crowd there at Milk Brown Stadium. Big play here by North special teams early. Antoine Williams going to come off the edge and block the punt, setting up North in great field position. Couple plays later, QB Andrew Bucci powers in from a yard out, and North led it 7-0. There's the Booch. All right, early second quarter, Grayson Weber from his own 40 wanted to throw deep, and he has Keeson Taylor all by himself way downfield. That's a 57-yard TD. Still in the second, Weber's arm is going to burn North again, or maybe it was Jordan Lopez who burned North because he gets behind the DBs and he has that pass for a 47-yard TD. It was 13-6 Guilford. Lopez going to celebrate that one. Still in the second quarter, Weber this time is going to find his running back Chris Porter for good yardage, but North came back late with long touchdowns by Eric Roman and Ben Bucher, and Belvidere North defeated Guilford 21-13. I apologize, North fans, that we couldn't stick around for the great finish to that game, but we have Tim Bailey here to talk with us about this one, our NIC 10 analyst from Mercy Health Top Performers, now in our studio.
Tim, what a game by Grayson Weber for Guilford. 2 big touchdown passes in the first half. How impressed were you with him tonight?
Oh, wow, guys. I was really impressed. I think he grew up. You know, last year we talked about, his inability to escape out of the pocket, talked about his inability to really get the ball out of his hand quicker. But tonight I saw a different kid. I saw a kid who actually matured in those areas that he needed to mature in, giving his team a chance to try to go out and win tonight. Even though they didn't come out victorious, I'm impressed with where this young man is right now here in week 1.
Coach told me in practice he does a good job of keeping his cool, and he certainly did tonight. So we saw Taylor and Jordan Lopez catch those 2 long passes. Then they got Messiah Tilson. Right. It gives them another receiving threat. And Kevin Porter is a good dump-off action out of the backfield. So, Tim, could this be the best passing attack in the NIC 10 potentially since that Harlem group led by James Cooper in 2020? I guess, what do you think of the potential of their passing game?
I think it could. I think the potential is there. That's the big word here. That's the actual word that we're discussing right now. How good can they be? I think they can be really good. I think what it's going to take for them to be really good to be better than that group that you just mentioned, you just alluded to from Harlem years ago. I think what they're going to have to do, they're just going to have to stay consistent and know what they need to do to give that offense that opportunity to win the game. So I think they're going to be really good, great treat to watch. They're special 3.
Belvidere North didn't have any explosive plays in the first half, but they got them in the second half. What turned the tables?
Belvidere North went into the locker room, and whatever Coach Beck said to his offense and his defense, they came out, they made their adjustments on defense, weren't giving up the big plays as they gave up in the first half against Guilford. But, you got to tip your hat off to Belvidere North. Down at home, you come back, you regroup, you go in, your coach galvanizes the actual troops. They come out, and they show why they're co-champs, and they show why they're actually that team right now that could, as we talked about last week, gentlemen, that could be in that top runner seat here in the next 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, championship teams have to win the big games.
Yes.
Belvidere North, they just keep proving it. They've done it again. I mean, how much do you admire their ability to just not get rattled and to come through in the clutch?
Well, when you're well coached as they are, this is what's to be expected. And also too, when you have the star power that they have on offense in Roman and Bucher and Bucci as well. Bucci played a really solid game tonight. I think this is what we expect Belvidere North to do. I think there's some areas that they need to actually clean up in order to actually continue to move through the conference as they want to. But I think, I'm not too surprised with what they were able to do tonight. I think we're going to see more good things from Belvidere North down the road.
Yeah, we all knew Guilford had talent coming into this game, but I needed them to show me that they could win a big game. Now, they closed the gap from last year when they were blown out 29-0 in this opening game, but they didn't win it again. So, Tim, can they shake this off?
I think what they need to do is just go back, watch film, put this game in their rearview mirror and figure out where they made the mistakes, go out to practice on Monday, 100% focus, and understand that you have a full season ahead of you. Don't let this game actually deter your actual entire season. So I think that's what they need to do. I think if they do that, I think they have the playmakers to actually make a really, really good run here in the next 9 or 10 weeks.
All right, before we say goodbye to Tim, let's do our question of the week. We're going to do this each week. Here it is. Who will lead the NIC 10 in rushing yards this season? Gavin Sanders of Auburn, Alex Hernandez of Boylan, Ben Bucher of Belvidere North, Denarius Epps of Freeport, or Dwayne Broom of Harlem. Tim, which of those guys are you going with, or might it be somebody else?
You know, guys, I got to go with Bucher. Based on what I saw him do tonight, he did it all in the second half. I would have liked to seen him get a little bit more love in the first half, but for whatever reason, he didn't get the love that he probably should have gotten. But what he did in the second half, I got to go with Bucher right here, guys.
All right, I'm going to go Bucher too. He's not going to get a lot of carries. He really won't this year. But when he does, he takes them to the house.
He's hitting home runs. He's taking the ball 50, 60 yards up the gut outside. I mean, he's tough.
Drew, you going to go in a different direction?
Nope, Bucher. But hey, Broom, watch out for him. He can get those big runs there.
Yeah, all those guys are good guys. All right, folks, if you want more from Tim on NIC 10 football, check out the Bailey Pod. You can find a new episode on YouTube every Thursday. Each week, Tim will be talking with coaches and key players, and this week, he was joined by Matt Trowbridge of the Register Star. All right, thanks, Tim. We look forward to doing it once again next week.
Absolutely.
We're going to have the rest of tonight's NIC 10 action in just a bit.
NUIC rivals Lena Winslow and Forreston going at it in a Week 1 showdown.
Dupec fans knew the day would come when they would run out of Hoffman brothers to play quarterback. Well, this is the time.
No more Hunter, no more Cooper, not even Coach Tyler Hoffman is around anymore. But the Rivermen are aiming to continue the run of success that the Hoffmans helped to start for the Rivermen. They open their season in Pecatonica tonight against Dakota. Rivermen ball, Lucas Rossau runs outside with some blockers from 29 yards out to score. The guys are pumped up with a big run. Dupec again. This time Dermont Dolan sweeps over by the sideline and takes it to the house. 42-yard score for number 33. Dolan under center, weaving to find a hole, gets outside, watch this stiff arm, and that's his second touchdown of the game. 21-0 Rivermen after the first quarter. They beat Dakota 56-16. In Forreston tonight, a couple big rivals clashed. Forreston and Lena Winslow.
Nothing like opening the season with those NUIC Blue Bloods facing off. Well, Tylor Sorensen covered that one for us, and he joins us now. Hi, Tyler.
Yeah, hey guys, this is a special rivalry, although lately it's been one-sided. Lena Winslow had won 7 of the last 8 games between them going into this one. Now, why don't we just start with the kickoff? Lee wins, Kobe Kearns handles it off the bounce, and he's rumbling, stumbling, takes it into Forreston territory right around that halfway point. Now they would end up continuing down as they celebrate right here. Now Lee-Win quarterback Cash Lessman hands it off to fullback Aiden Wild and just keeps on rumbling, gets it short of the goal line with around the 2-yard line. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As the very next play, Aiden Wild bowls his way into the score for the 6 points. They do end up getting a 2-point conversion, and they lead 8-0. Now, what about some defensive plays from Lee-Win? Forreston gets it. Jonathan Millens dropped in the backfield by linebacker Miles Mahan to force a 3-and-out as well. The entire sideline gets sorted up as quarterback Cash Lessman hands it off to running back Alex Schlecting, who takes it to the house. Goodbye, everybody. They end up hitting the 2-point conversion as well, making it 16-0 as Lee-Win defeats Forreston 50-12. Now this makes 25 conference game victories in a row for Lee-Win, and I'm excited to see if they are able to continue that momentum throughout the season. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Tyler. Also in NUIC, Eastland Pearl City beats Fulton 52-20. Galena beats Morrison 22-14. And Stockton defeats Benton, Wisconsin 46-0.
Opening night in the Big Northern saw Dixon taking on Rockford Lutheran, the start of the Don Lee era at Lutheran. But boy, this Dixon team is a tough opening opponent. First play of the game, Jagger Kemp hands it off to Landon Carnegie, and Carnegie's got himself an easy touchdown. Lutheran went with a freshman, Cameron Wagman, at quarterback. A rough go of it for him, especially when the ball isn't snapped properly to him. Wagman here rolling out, and tried to make something out of that. Tough play there, but he's taken down. Lutheran punting deep in his own territory, but do not punt it to that guy, number 4, Carnegie, because he'll burn you every time, or close to every time. He takes that one to the house, and Dixon defeated Lutheran 47-8.
On to Winnebago, the Indians hosted North Boone. Bago QB Caden Langhoff. QB sneak scores the TD, but Bago will go on to miss the 2-point conversion. North Boone leads 14-12. Gotta love that power versus power. North Boone quarterback Grady Condon fakes the jet, keeps it and runs down the sideline. He will grab the first down. He'll be forced out of bounds by a few Vikings defenders. Condon continuing here, gives it off to running back Connor Chamberlain. He's gonna get it here. Rumble for first down and a whole lot more. Look at him go. He ends up getting tackled by Cooper Larson at the 30-yard line. More of Condon here at quarterback number 3. He gives it to Josiah Howard on the jet sweep, but he's tackled in the backfield by Caden Langhoff to end the drive. Vikings defeat Bago 21-18.
Also in the Big Northern, Oregon defeated Genoa Kingston 27-20, and Marengo defeated Stillman Valley 42-7. Coming up in a bit, our spotlight story on Guilford's Messiah Tilson. We're back to the Nick 10 though next.
We'll head to Harlem and Boylan.
The Boylan Titans and Freeport Pretzels were both playoff teams last year. They wanted to get started tonight on building another playoff resume.
And they met up at Titans Stadium. Jumped to a 4th down situation. Boylan looked like they jumped off sides, but they played through with a high snap. Davion Douglas contains it, tries to get the first down, but no luck for the Titans special teams. Boylan ball, Dominic Cacciatore meshes, fires over to Alex Hernandez for the first down. Cacciatore again, slings to Alex Hernandez and close to the goal line. Here's Cacciatore. He's gonna push and sneak his way in for 6. Titans led 14-6 at half. Pretzels won it 18-14.
Let's go to Harlem. The Huskies hosting the Belvidere Bucks. The Huskies do not have Jamani Muhammad, but they do have a lot of talent on their roster. We're going to start off with a punt from Belvidere into the hands of Harlem's Jackson Cook, who makes it all the way for the touchdown. Harlem got the extra point. It was 7-zip. Cook's going to have a big year, folks. All right, next, Belvidere QB Demetrius Taborn is going to throw. And let's see if he can complete a little pass there, and a nice catch there by Matthew Lazowski. Breaks the tackle and falls forward for the first down. Belvidere would eventually kick for a field goal, but it was no good. Harlem went on to win this game big, 30-3. Well, the last Nick 10 game of the opening weekend is going to happen tomorrow.
Auburn will host Hononegah at Wyeth Stadium. The varsity game will kick off at noon. The Rochelle Hubs could have another great team this year. They opened up at home against Geneseo. Here's Roman Villalobos and the boys thirsty for a touchdown, but first, let's show some love to this Rochelle defense. Brody Metzger barking in the backfield like a loose dog. Rochelle's defense is filled with dogs. Like I said, it won't take long for Roman Villalobos to break loose. He rumbles all the way into the red zone and shouts out to Fox 39 viewers watching at home. The Hubs are very physical this year, I'll tell you that. So of course you have to finish the job by rewarding Agent 40, and the Hubs do just that. The Hubs win it 41-14. In DeKalb at NIU, DeKalb hosted Sycamore in their annual grudge match. The Spartans will get us started. Griffin Larson drops into play action. Check out the rainbow flick, and he finds the gold pot. Cooper Bodie for the touchdown. Here comes some week 1 trickery. DeKalb hands it off to U of I commit. Davon Grant, he throws a bomb. Dawson Gurley lays out for the grab. DeKalb trying to tie it up. They go back to the Fighting Illini commit, but the Spartans pick it off. That's Josiah Mitchell who snags it. After a muffed punt, the Cowboys knock again. They hand it off to 265-pound Owen Sisson for the big boy touchdown. But Sycamore responds right here before halftime. Cooper Bodie, Mr. Do-It-All, gets in for 6 more. The Spartans would barely hold on 22-21. In 8-man football tonight, South Beloit beat Christian Life 46-8. Milledgeville won 30-22 over Amboy. Aldine Hebron won it 31-16 over Orangeville. And Polo wins it 40-0. AFC 28 over West Prairie 18. Our Spotlight segment is up next.
I visit with a Guilford Viking who's going to be suiting up in the Southeastern Conference next year, Messiah Tilson. We have some excellent football talent this season that'll be playing at the major college level very soon. And right there at the top of the list is Guilford senior Messiah Tilson. He's the focus of our Overtime Spotlight segment, brought to you by Rockford Career College. Messiah Tilson made a fast impression, literally, on anyone who watched him play varsity ball 2 years ago as a sophomore at Guilford. His speed was rare. It truly was and is game-breaking. Tilson's speed has also been evident in track and field. As a sophomore at Guilford, he was the NIC 10 champion in the 100 and 200. A few months later, he was 6th in the nation in the 100 at the AAU Track and Field Nationals. After that, college football coaches were put on alert. They wanted him. They began recruiting him heavily. There were offers from NIU, Western Michigan, Illinois, Iowa State, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Cincinnati, Indiana, and on and on. Eventually, Tilson narrowed his choices down to 4 schools: Wisconsin, Kentucky, Minnesota, and Rutgers. In June, he announced he was going to Kentucky, where he'll play in the mighty Southeastern Conference against the likes of Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Florida, and Oklahoma. How much SEC football did you watch growing up?
For me, I was a Big Ten kid, so I didn't really watch much SEC football, but I always knew about it.
Is there something about going down south that attracted you, that you wanted to get out of the Midwest?
For me, I kind of just wanted to get a little bit away from home so I can kind of experience life on my own, and then also just playing in that conference. It's a good conference for football, and they say it's the best conference, so why not?
At Guilford, Tilson shines as a safety, a cornerback, a receiver, a kick returner, and a sometimes running back. In college, he'll be a safety.
I think he'll get locked into a great program, and I think he'll soak everything up. It wouldn't surprise me if we end up seeing him on Sundays. It wouldn't surprise me if he's competing right away.
It's not just the speed and the 6'2" frame that impresses Capriati about Tilson. It's Tilson's desire to keep improving and his love for competition.
And the most exciting thing is he just wants to get better. That's all he wants to do. So he'll do whatever they need him to do. He'll attack it.
You had a very good year last year. How much more gas do you have in the tank? How much more can you show us this year as a senior?
I think I got a lot left in the tank to just come out and play my game this year.
It will help that he has his college choice already settled.
I say definitely it takes a lot of pressure because, I mean, it's not teams texting you every day, just still trying to make conversation with you. So now it's kind of just one school, and I can get used to that.
How would you describe the recruiting process for you? What was it like for you?
I say texting all the coaches, talking to all the coaches. I made some great bonds, and then just being able to kind of go around, see new parts of the United States, and then just also being able to see new things and watch new things, learn new things about football was just very, very fun for me. But at the same time, it's very, very time consuming, and just, you know, it takes a lot of time to do.
There are going to be other athletes from Guilford and other Rockford schools in the future who are going to go through a similar type of recruiting process. Do you have any advice for those younger athletes? For
me, the main part was just staying calm through it all. And still, even though you got your offers and stuff, but you still got to work to keep them. So still work out, do all the things you do, and make sure you get in even more work. So just stay calm, and then don't let it overwhelm you, because it's a process that you're going through. And you just can't let it overwhelm you, because if you do, then that's when it'll come back and bite you, because you get too nervous in games and then you won't perform as good as you want to.
Tilson plans to graduate early from Guilford so he can enroll in Kentucky in January and be ready for spring ball there.
How many football players from the NIC 10 have gone out to play in the SEC?
Well, several played in the Big Ten, okay, a lot. But the only local player I'm aware of who's played in the SEC in the last 50 years is another Guilford guy, Julius Coates. He played for Arkansas in 2020.
All right, we'll be right back.
Next week, we'll begin our weekly Athlete of the Week contest. Be looking for details on that early next week and be ready to cast your vote. Athlete of the Week is brought to you by McCloskey, Kessler, and Associates.
Right now, it's time for the Napleton Auto Group Play of the Night.
We'll go back to B North. One of those beautiful plays by Grayson Weber and the Guilford Vikings. Weber's second quarter, airing it out to Jordan Lopez for the 47-yard TD. That's our play of the week. And again, our apologies to Belvidere North that we couldn't stay for the end of the game and get those 2 electric touchdowns by their guys. It was a late game, and I had a long drive back, and I had to edit this video. That's what happens sometimes. It's a little frustrating, but that's the way it goes. All right, Drew, take it from there.
All right, we'll be right back here with you every Friday night through the season right here on Fox 39.
Most of the time, we'll be on at 10:30 or shortly thereafter. We will keep you posted each week.
If you'd like another look at the show or if you want to see highlights of individual games, you can do that anytime on our website, mystateline.com.
I want to look ahead to next week real quick because I can tell you about 2 blockbuster games coming up that we're already dying to see. One is Dixon at Byron.
Oh, yeah.
Another is Stockton at Leno Winslow in the NUIC. So can we just skip the rest of the week and move ahead to next Friday?
I'm there with you. I'm still at last year's Dixon and Byron game. It was unbelievable.
That was the game of the year. The terrific finish there. But Stockton is really, I mean, they hammered Benton, Wisconsin tonight. Now, that's not a great test, but they gave Leno Winslow a game last year in the regular season, not in the playoffs. But this is a loaded Stockton team. I'm not saying, we're not predicting anything, but it's going to be interesting. All right, that's it for this show. Thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.